Central America. Can you tell us more about human development, the human rights?
Are still like very strong center of attention. So there are many topics in Central America, from human development, from poverty and inequality. What you just mentioned, that it's a organized.
Hello everyone, so we're here today at the Global Peace Chain Summit, Qatar 2024, and I'm Rayan, originally from Lebanon. I have a background in development, humanitarian field in various countries, and I also shifted to the mental health, so I have quite a mix of both, and I'm happy to be here at the summit to utilize my expertise as well as to collaborate and to network with other people. So I'm here today with one of the delegates here from the Pura Vida land of Costa Rica, Diego. Tell us more about yourself and why you got inspired by this summit.
All right. Well, I studied international relations a few years ago. I've always been interested in human development and international development.
Okay.
And that's been like my main area of field area for, I don't know, whatever it's been, like 6-7 years now, working predominantly with Central America, going from labor rights, indigenous advocacy, civil society organizations, and some other topics that are related to human development. So when I saw the Global Peace Summit, I thought it would be a good fit for me in terms of getting to know new persons and networking, but overall discussing and putting on the table topics that are related to Central America and mainly with Costa Rica and Nicaragua, which are the two countries I've gotten to work more with.
Okay, that's nice. So given this concept that you mentioned of human development in Central America, can you tell us more about human development, the human rights, maybe the high rate of violence and cartels or any of these things in Central America from your experience and your perspective?
Yeah, well, Central America has been involved in so many difficult topics, from civil wars in the 80s and much recorded than that. Democracies have been laid down and been weakened over the years. However, they have prevailed. We've got countries like, for instance, in Costa Rica, we abolished the army in 1948.
That's true.
Nevertheless, in the rest of the countries, armies are still a very strong center of attention. So there are many topics in Central America, from human development, from poverty and inequality. What you just mentioned, that it's a organized crime. We are very involved in, we're being hurt by, and it's I'd say when it comes to
what is the cause of that?
Exactly.
Why is it so much, especially in Latin and Central America?
I'd say it's because it's been so rooted so many years now.
So generational trauma, basically?
I wouldn't say generational trauma, but it's an international thing. Like when you think of organized crime, you just can say that it's in just one country. It comes all the way from the south, and there are so many pathways to getting drugs to all over to the north that come from South America, and they have their roots come from, I don't know, Colombia, pass through all the way Panama.
So it's like a long-term international business.
Exactly, and it's
so then it goes, just inherits and keeps going and going and going.
Exactly, and it's very rooted, I'd say, because it hasn't been tackled in a way that it's as a regional strategy. The countries are just tackling it on its own. International crime, it should be thought as an international thing, not just one country or the other. I think when countries assimilate those strategies and they assimilate that, organized crime, it's rooted into their communities, and they take action against that, not just tackling, I don't know, the drug cartel, but to provide more education, put more schools where there should be, having better opportunities for everybody, equal jobs for everybody. That will help to tackle, the drug dealing and all.
So this is where the governments have to come in and also support and change strategies for their populations. Exactly,
because if not, the drug cartels get into where there's lack of government, right? Where there's lack of human rights, where there's lack of opportunities for education or stuff like that.
So it's easier to like brainwash the younger people come join us.
Exactly. Because it is.
Because there's no rule, there's no law.
There's no rule, and they are providing opportunities for them to get money, to get involved into another sort of communities, to even adopt them in some countries.
Okay.
That happens a lot in Honduras and Guatemala, El Salvador, with Mara Salvatrucha and other drug cartels that are very inserted into their communities. So it is a problem where there's lack of government. That's where you usually find a presence of drug cartel, drug dealing, violence, or crime.
Yeah, makes sense. So from what I understand from you, the solutions could be starting locally from the governments by education, implementing access that's more affordable or free to education, or like opportunities, etc. And then for the international law or international community to tackle it as an international crime, not specifically one country, right?
Exactly. And I would even add, as a communities undervalue the power that they have to fight against these things. And I don't mean to raise arms and against drug cartel, but preventive strategies, just as wellness prevention. I don't know, like putting a light post where there's a dark place in a community. Engaging in sports, that's another way to gather more young people and prevent them from joining cartels. Providing with more education, education alternatives, right? Yeah. So those are usually strategies that work, that I've been involved in, and that I've been like really good at tackling these problems. So all that you said, like international law, international strategies, overall getting to these communities, but that it has to be like an integral thing. You just can't put it in a search, right?
So you want to continue working in this field to the improvement of human development? Yes,
exactly. I think human development, it's so wide and so open, and there are so many things you can do. So yeah, that's absolutely what I would like to do.
Continue working at for your region, especially.
Yeah, I'm currently working with Nicaragua, working through promoting social and economic rights in Nicaragua from Costa Rica.
Okay, nice.
There are so many Nicaraguan politicians that have been prosecuted by the government that are currently in Costa Rica. Nicaraguan and Costa Rican politicians, they are so close, and there are so many Nicaraguan workers in Costa Rica that work in the agro-export sector. And they're very, we have a very mixed population. And it is part of what I think we should do. When we're receiving all the Nicaraguan people that have fled from home because of persecution or whatever the case may be.
That's interesting. Thank you so much for sharing all these insights, Diego. I think most of us did not know any of these information and for the possible solutions and strategies. Thank you so much for joining us today on the podcast, and we wish you all the best in your endeavors, and hopefully we see you making a huge difference in your region.
Thank you.
Thank you.